Hey guys, welcome to the MC Anime Podcast. We cover anime, geek culture, Japanese aesthetics, and Asian studies. We are a multi-fandom podcast, and you can expect to hear topics in your favorite hobby or fandom activity potentially. You can find MC Anime on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, please check out mcanimepodcast.com, our website. Furthermore, stay tuned in for another episode.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MC Anime Podcast here. MC here, and today I have a special guest with me today. Introduce you, how you are, and what you do.
Hello, my name is Elliot. I'm here at Anime Inc. I helped install the giant LED video wall for the events. I'm also running the visuals to those walls and also the music right now, so kind of like a jack of all trades.
Alright, in today's episode, you heard it straight from Elliot. We're going to do AV and event setup. So what are the basics of AV and how does it translate to venues and all that stuff?
So AV is kind of like the backbone of all live production, whether it be music or entertainment, generally entertainment. And AV stands for audio visual. So that involves running music, whether it be pre-recorded or live, and also running visuals, and that would just be visual presentations, videos, and anything that no one can see on the screen or whatnot. And yeah, that's basically the gist of the industry. We just kind of work together like a well-oiled machine to really help bring the production to life and provide the best quality for our clients.
Well, AV typically is very important. I have a background in it. I've done TV announcers for 4 years. I've done stage design, light design. I've did everything under the sun. Grappling. We literally had our own studio to actually make changes to and do like production notebooks. So it went from TV, movies, everything.
Yeah.
So with audio visual, I actually volunteered a couple of years ago with GalaxyCon. I was actually the volunteer for AV.
Oh, nice.
So I was actually running the DVD room with the different DVDs for the movie, retro movies, anime movie, all that stuff. And I also helped with the different panels, do the audio checks, make sure they had the production that they needed. So what does a large-scale event in AV look like?
So a large-scale event in AV, that would typically be your conventions, whether it be corporate or entertainment conventions. That would be like for your anime cons. And then corporate events can just be like, a good example would be like, an Apple presentation and they're, revealing a product that would be considered a corporate event. So it's many different kinds and stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, I think that's like the gist of there.
So what is your favorite type of event to work at AV?
Definitely entertainment events. Currently, like the one we're at with Anime Inc. I like it because it's a bit more fun. You get to have a bit more fun with like the graphics and the audio, and it's more laid back. Still professional, but it's not as strict as corporate events, which are very more formal. But for events like these, like conventions and stuff, I absolutely love doing it. It's such a blast.
Oh, okay. So set up in a big event like this, what type of licenses do you need to get ahead of time?
Really, I think the only licenses you need is, if you're gonna be, using like a forklift, obviously like a forklift certification, because we have a lot of huge heavy machinery. But for me personally, I didn't really have to get any licenses to get in. I just had to, have a small background in what I'm already doing with like audio visual, because I got my start in the industry when I was a teenager, and I got into learning video editing and music and sound design and stuff. So I already have kind of a prerequisite knowledge with that kind of stuff. So I was able to apply that knowledge that I knew to when I began working in the AV industry, and it's helped a lot. But I feel like anyone can start regardless of their skill level, because it's typically we can start with a beginner position, which would be stagehand work, and that's just lifting and jabbing up in the sheet area on stage. And then if other fields into shield industry, you can work your way up. But yeah,
Gotcha.
Very much like an entry-level job. But if you work hard enough and you dedicate enough time, you can work your way up.
Oh, okay. Now, how about, say, public screenings and performance rights? How does that go about?
So with that, typically the AV side doesn't usually handle that. It's with like the venue and the event organizer. But with those kind of licenses, you would have that for like big EDO and stuff like that. So they usually have those licenses for larger scale productions where there's more money involved. Electric Daisy Carnival is a perfect example. So if you have you're investing so much into your business and stuff, you definitely need to purchase some licenses as well. So that way, the artist also gets paid fairly when their music gets played.
Oh, okay. So typically you don't handle that stuff. Has there ever been an event where they haven't had that legal rights actually accessed ahead of time?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, honestly. I mean, I played as a DJ myself. I played some underground events where we don't really have that. But again, it's a lower budget event. There's
lower risk.
Yeah, lower risk, lower in assets, lower pretty much everything,
And were you paid for those events or you just did voluntary?
There's some underground events I volunteer my time, because I definitely want to offer my skills and such. I mean, obviously for corporate and entertainment events, I am paid for my time because it is a lot to do. It's very consuming, very physically taxing. But I will volunteer my time every now and then to smaller events that, definitely need it to help kickstart their event.
Gotcha. And do you typically go into different TV shows or entertainment as a basis for how their visuals look like?
I haven't actually done TV or broadcast yet. That actually is a branch of the AV field that I definitely want to explore someday. Right now I'm currently training to be an audio visual technician. Running visuals today, I'm technically I'm a video technician. But when I work my way up to audio and video technician, then I can move on to broadcasts and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. How about TV shows? Do you like to watch it in general, or you typically do other stuff for fun?
I used to watch TV back in the day before I got so busy with my work schedule. But I liked a few shows here and there, like Breaking Bad, and the other one I really got into was Beastars, which it's kind of
Beastar.
Yeah, I mean it's technically an anime, but that was another, I guess, for a show that was actually really invested in, and that was definitely one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how about anime wise? Is there any investment there, or you're just I
mean, my favorites are definitely Cowboy Bebop, Space Dandy, Trigun.
So you like the 90s?
Yeah, that style definitely is very captivating to me. I like kind of the more vintage look of it.
Alright, so the vintage look because of the old school type of procedure for the production?
Yeah, it has that there's a certain type of film grain and glow kind of look.
Gotcha, so you like from the manga translation to the panel on screen with traditional drawing.
Right, yeah, another favorite film of mine is Akira, because they translate the art style of the manga very well as a film, and still to this day one of the most visually stunning films I've ever watched.
I think Akira, I agree with that, because their film style was very extravagant, but it was very unique for its own movie set.
Yeah, and I mean the amount of detail that went in that movie is crazy.
And that has a lot of detail in it generally, but to encapsulate the task in gory details and that look fake, actually was interesting.
Yeah. I mean you can even find animation cells these days that live selling straight up frames in the movie, and they give them for several $1,000s just because the amount of detail and work that has gone into the
Gotcha. So where's the interesting story that you had with a client or an event that you thought was really fun?
I think that definitely the one that was really fun was one of the events that I ran down in Orlando, Florida. It's actually called Amper Ravers of Orlando. That is a rave/hardcore event that me and my friends have started. I like working on that event specifically because it's a passion project of mine, and I love setting up sound and visuals and, making sure the DJs we have coming in to play are all set up and accommodated. So that's a lot of fun because not only is it a passion project for mine, but I'm also helping, my clients and the performers to also have a good time as well, just to help, run things smoothly. So yeah, it's a blast.
All right. So how did that project start actually?
So that project started around 6 or 7 years ago. Me and several of our friends are DJs, so we just got together. We're like, we should throw our own music event because there wasn't that many around in Orlando, Florida, pre-pandemic.
So you hire your own DJs, but you're all DJs to run the event.
Yeah, because we'll also play the event, but we'll get it.
Oh, okay.
We'll get in outside DJs and stuff who will come to us who want to play it. And, we'll also scout out other DJs we feel are fit for the event.
Gotcha. So what kind of publicity does that event get?
So we actually just launched that event this year. We didn't get much publicity, but we did sell out 2 of our shows already, so we already have to get a bigger venue. First show was a smashing success. Obviously, the second show we threw, it was an even bigger success. But yeah, it's still a fairly new event. But with enough shows that we run and gain that momentum, we'll definitely probably get some more publicity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, what part of AV do you like the most?
Definitely the audio aspect of it, because when I'm not doing AV, I'm also I'm an electronic producer and I'm also a sound engineer, so I take care of mixing and mastering production. And doing that for about 15 years, I can apply it to running sound for AV, and it's fairly easy for me because I've already had the prerequisite skills. And it's also just a blast because I love being able to work with the different rooms that I have and to try to adjust the systems to get the best sound.
Oh, okay. Have you ever worked with a production company or media, to produce a show or anything like that?
I would love to work for definitely more in indie video game developers, because I think that scene is really very, very creative, and I would love to lend my skill as a music producer to those things, because the video game company stuff it's all right. It does pay the most, but I feel like my passion definitely lies more in the underground as a creative myself. So I want to get more into indie music development.
Okay. So what about indie specifically that makes you draw out to that industry?
I would say just the different styles of video games. I mean, I'm seeing really, really interesting hand-drawn styles, and also there's one video game that's in development. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but they're actually utilizing hand stitching for their spray animations, which to me is very, very with a needle and thread on actual cloth. They would make the spray animation sheet of the animations, and they would take photos of that as frame animation.
Oh, so they're using stop frame technology.
Right, yeah, but they're so the creativity in the indie scene is so crazy to see, because it's a bunch of people that want to bring something new to the table and they're passionate about it. So the quality is always so up.
Well, stop frame was already difficult enough with play and all that other stuff, but when you add the stitching, you have each individual stitched fabric doing slightly moving into the object of the frame.
Yeah.
And you're literally doing still shots of every single tiny detail. It's kind of crazy how that works.
Yeah. I mean, another good example will be that video game Pilots. It's another indie game, and the dude uses stop motion animation for all the character animations, and also does his own music and everything for it. But Pilots is a really, really good game.
Well, stop frame is the low cost animation quality you can get, but at the same time, it's the most time consuming.
Yeah.
It can take years just to do a movie in that type of style.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it really goes to show that the person behind the creative vision for that project needs, a recognition for it, because it doesn't happen very often.
Right, recognition or funding for it, because obviously it's very time consuming, and you're going to need a lot of resources and stuff. So, I mean, that's why I like to help Kickstarters and stuff. I think Kickstarter is amazing for project startups like that, but we definitely need more out of the box indie game developers, because the creativity's endless when you're kind of both a god show.
So with the event setup, what is some of the most challenging aspects of that?
For me, probably the physical lifting. I'm not really kind of a muscular kind of guy, but it can be very physically taxing, but the final product of it gives you such a huge sense of accomplishment. But yeah, other challenges can be last minute changes in schedules and stuff. But that's kind of the nature of the beast of the industry. So every time I go in, I kind of have that mindset of like knowing a reschedule, but also knowing things can change like immediately. So I'm always on my toes.
So have you done anything to maybe affect the musical aspect?
I'm working on it.
So I guess another event has heavy lifting. He's like, oh crap, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I mean, with additional hands, it helps a lot. But I mean, that's why I'm mostly training to be a technician and stuff. Is then I
do the other stuff. You don't have to do the lifting as much.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and also it's more of my field if I'm doing a technician kind of job.
Gotcha.
I'm using my knowledge of the past decade or so.
So what is the usual role that you take in AV at the events?
For now, it's actually stagehand, so lifting and stuff for now, and setting up. I mean, I helped set up this entire LED wall, which it was a process, but we got it all wired up and stuff.
Did you have to like put it on the ground first and then helped it up off of it?
Panels at a time. So what we did is we actually have this very low to the ground. We put one row up there because there's about 3 rows of this. We put one row on, raise that up, put the other row on, and then so forth. So you have, it's, and they click together kind of like puzzle pieces too, which is really cool. And then you would just you kind of chain the data tables through, so that way, video outputting through here, it just goes into one panel, and then that connects into that, and then so forth, and then creates a cohesive image.
So basically, you're using like, was it URL connection?
We're using Ethernet connection. So
Ethernet?
Yeah. We I don't know if you can see it. There's like a green cable.
Oh, sorry.
We have them plugged into each of your.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is, I believe, cable standard setup.
Yeah.
Well, usually with mics and stuff, use that setup.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's also similar to my audio setup. I mean, this method is called daisy training, when you maybe chain one into the other to make it cohesive. I already had that kind of knowledge with playing guitar using effects pedals. You daisy chain each together.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I even see the safety latch on every single device.
Yeah. Yeah, those lock it all together and stuff.
Lock it in so it doesn't fall off.
Yeah. They were a pain to get them in there, but
So I did that. With the big safety chains on light design.
Yeah.
When I had to change all the grappling, we had to move the big old lights onto the safety connections and everything else.
Yeah.
So how long did that take?
Several days. Well, I mean,
you were here several days setting this up.
Yeah, about 2 days. So the setup of this was 2 days.
10 hours?
Oh, overtime, more than that. I am numbering out to 15-hour days now, so.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not
It's
bad.
not like you're doing 20 hours.
No, I've done 20 hours before in AV, so like that's kind of like an endurance.
You like this 24 hours events?
I mean, I'm passionate about it. It's either working this or food service, so I kind of prefer this over. It took me like 10 plus years to get out of that industry. It's like grueling. So,
because I do grocery.
Yeah.
So I'm in retail.
Yeah.
Not necessarily food service because I'm in produce. So I do all the handling for that. But getting out of it's hard because you do it so much.
Right.
You're just used to it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to the podcast take over and get out of it, but it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. You'll get there with enough momentum. I mean, that's kind of how I got out of food service, was like, I kept doing it. I kept doing DJ gigs and stuff because like I'm also like a full-time DJ and I'm not working this. I just get paid to be flown out to just play different events. And that took a long time though. That took me like 15 years to get to that point. So just consistency.
Gotcha. So with the event setup, what is the most challenging aspect that you have to deal with?
I guess, troubleshooting can be a little challenging. Nothing too challenging. You're just kind of having to like backtrack and, look through the signal chain and see what's up. Can be a little stressful when you're under pressure and, there's like, time on the clock and stuff. But I mean, we usually make it work.
Oh, okay. What is the biggest challenge you've ever had in an event before?
biggest challenge. I mean, there are a lot of challenges. I mean, we had a lot of challenges just this past weekend alone. But you know, I think the biggest challenge for me is just learning things as I go. Still some things what I don't know with running these kind of things, but through troubleshooting and experience with that, I'm learning as I go. It can be very challenging, but nothing too bad.
What's the craziest story you ever had encountered, either at an event or something else?
Craziest story? Honestly, nothing too crazy, surprisingly.
Most obscure.
Most obscure? I mean, I kind of helped set up an event out in the UK last month, and that was my first time over there. So.
Oh, so you flew to the UK? How was that?
That was a lot of fun, because it was the same event I helped a little bit set up with. I also played as a VJ, so it's my first gig outside of the.
How did you get that client?
I make music in my spare time.
Okay.
So I gained enough of an audience to where they actually reached out to me. I won't reveal my music project name because I've already revealed the company I work for, so I try to keep those two separate. I gained enough of an audience with that project so where a client all the way out in the UK noticed me. So
Gotcha.
I could do that. See you soon.
So from that event, do you think that propelled you in a different light in traveling abroad?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what I love about this industry and like the jobs I can get are just the travel aspect, because I get to actually travel and see like the world. And I mean, this is my first time up in Richmond, Virginia, so it's been pretty cool up here. I'm loving the weather, which is funny to say because I was born and raised in Florida. Everyone from Florida tells me they're like,
it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's too hot for me. I mean, everyone I know in Florida is just like, oh, I love the heat. I can't stand it. I'm trying to leave the state like as early as early next year. So.
Oh my gosh. What's the furthest you traveled?
The furthest I've traveled, Liverpool, UK.
So UK was the farthest.
Yeah.
Everything else has been the United States.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think the furthest I traveled was Mexico. That was a podcast retreat, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So. There's different things to do. With the types of events you set up, what are some of the strangest that have been set up?
Since I'm still fairly new in the industry, and I mean, nothing too strange so far.
That's it.
I mean, this event I wouldn't consider strange, but it's very, very cool. I mean, this is actually probably the coolest event I've set up so far with an anime tattoo convention. I never knew they actually existed.
Yeah, this is like one of the first official, continuing focus on anime and tattoos at the same time.
Right, and to me that's super cool. You kind of did a mixture,
And I was here last year and got a tattoo. Yeah, MC Anime Podcast, that's what I got.
Yeah.
This is the only tattoo I'm going to get because it's my podcast and I might as well be a walking billboard for my brand.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about doing the same for my DJ name, so because I don't have any tattoos at the moment, but that might be my first one. So,
well, of course, you're gonna have to get the tattoo outside the event because you book in the event. So,
yeah. People have joked around all the time they're like, "Are you getting my tattoo at this event?" I'm like, "I'm working all day."
He's working on stuff. Why would he get that? He's no time for a tattoo. He has no help to relieve him to even get a tattoo. That's kind of crazy. So with AV in general, what is one aspect that people don't realize when it goes into the industry?
Lots of last minute changes, lots of last minute additions sometimes. We work very, very hard behind the scenes to make a seamless flow of entertainment to the client and to the customers. It's a cohesive event. But behind the scenes, we are definitely working overtime. We'll always find ourselves scrambling to make things work. And but when you have enough people on the job and enough good leadership, it can become a well-oiled machine.
Gotcha.
Right. But yeah, it's a lot of time and dedication, a lot of lost hours of sleep. So yeah.
All right. So typically, AV is usually at like a party scene. How you describe a party scene to populate AV and what you do there compared to like corporate events for entertainment?
So I love the party scene because obviously you have like Anime Inc., and like those fun kind of cons that kind of showcase art.
Yeah.
I have helped with AV with like room parties. You would find those like we mentioned this stuff. I would just help them load in the audio and like set up their DJ gear and stuff. I like that. It's more laid back. A lot of us are very passionate about what we do and stuff, you know, and I know a lot of friends who I've also worked just kind of laid back events with, and they're bumblers with. With corporate, it's a little bit more strict. You are just what's the word for it? The drive to be almost, if not 100% perfect, is it urgency?
Yeah.
The sense of urgency is much higher because we're just making sure that for our clients, if corporate work, it's mostly demonstrations or like, you know, product reveals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're on the top of your game, and then like royalty note that helps with those. So
You want crisp sound, clear sound, plus any visuals to tell what the product is or what the presentation is telling.
right, absolutely, yeah. So you're gonna make sure all those are all locked and ready to go. So
All right. So which location have you set up that had the least subtle setup process for AV? Like it was bare bones, didn't have anything you needed.
definitely the event that I help run in Orlando, because we actually provide our own gear and stuff like that. That's just all of us pulling together our own stuff. Usually the events that I'm officially hired for.
So no events where the setup was hard to do because they had limited setup.
I mean, I've actually worked very, very recent events with that kind of stuff. In those situations, we have had to kind of make do with what we have, with the gear we have on hand. And, you know, sometimes if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Usually with that process, we're provided a list of gear that is expected of us to provide. Sometimes there can be little hiccups and miscommunications with, you know, not the right gear, or, you know, there's like some kind of thing between the client and, you know, the company that I work for.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we make it work. We that's where troubleshooting is involved, and, you know, you're making do with the cards that are dealt to you. So
Gotcha. I think the best limitations on an event are outside event, right? Because you have to bring the equipment in.
yeah,
If they're not providing it, you got to provide it and do the hookups
right.
to get to that power source.
Right, yeah, because also when we bring in our own gear, we know how it works. We know exactly how to set it up, and that makes the process much easier.
And do you use like a generator or a convertible?
I mean, it depends on what the venue provides. I know outside of things, we reach out to the venue to kind of gain specifics of what is expected with power, and then we bring our own gear like tables and stuff.
Because I know some people there, they set an event, they got surge protector, they got the generator, they have a battery set up, so it all depends.
Yeah, I mean, we bring our battery backups and stuff, you know, just in case.
Gotcha.
Long. Like I said, we're always quick thinking on our feet and making do with like the resources or that on the map.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, do you think that general setup of an event in AV is typically fun?
Yeah, I would say so. Because at the end of the day, if the client is happy, that gives us such a huge sense of accomplishment. Let's use a call. Due to awarding Heart of Daisies to me, especially, like, you know, I can put together productions and look back, and that also adds to my portfolio, and that can help me find more work. So it's definitely really fun when you can pull off the project very well, and you know, and if the client likes you enough, you can also they'll ask you back, which is real cool. So
you think if you do this event so well, they're going to ask you back to come back?
we'll see. It's ultimately up to the client. At the end of the day, I just want to make them happy. So
Okay. So what is the closing thoughts to get to the audience about AV and event setup in general?
Definitely if it's something that you're interested in, or if you know, pertains to your passions, I'd say definitely go for it. Push yourself. It's definitely stuff that you have to be outside of your comfort zone to learn more skills and stuff. But honestly, with a little bit of patience and persistence, I mean, you can definitely do it. You can work your way up because there are so many different positions in the AV industry that you can find. Especially if you look within to your personal strengths, you know, because as you can focus on your personal strengths and what you can offer, that can help you excel with the industry, because then, you can find the right place to be quick.
Okay, all right. And, actually audio visual is very easy to get into than the other like broadcasts, podcasts, and all that stuff, because of the simple fact that all these different events want to have a visual and sound on hand for an event to be successful, or, even a dance or other stuff.
Right.
Live entertainment sells at events, and they're going to continue to sell because people still want to book these type of events to do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And with that being said, where can they find you and all that stuff?
Well, the company I work for, you can find us at Maxon Productions. We're an audio-visual team located down in Miami, Florida. Definitely reach out to us for all your entertainment needs. We do such a wide variety of many different shows.
Gotcha. And you want to give a share for your music or no?
Not this time, since I am technically working today, so...
Okay. Alright, makes sense. This makes sense. But yeah, Elliot over here, he's the audio visual for the event at Anime Inc. It was nice to have him on the podcast, talk about, a little bit about his music, DJ hobby on the side, but also overall his passion for how mass communication AV all come together.
Right, yeah, and at the end of the day, if it makes the client smile and everything, that's what I'm looking for. I'm definitely looking for offering a mass quality service call.
And if you want to be in the AV, well, polish up your skills. Maybe you'll be in an event one day that you can operate the computer, do the sound, give some live entertainment, and then build from there. That's how you do your brand.
Absolutely, yeah, and persistence and consistency and persistence are the two major keys, especially if you're just starting out. Sometimes it can be very hard. Sometimes you may feel like you're not a good fit, but as long as you're patient with the process, you allow yourself some time to grow and to learn, it gets easier and easier.
Yep. And typically, be on time is the key.
Yes.
Sometimes being early is even better.
Yeah.
Also have to know that it's a lot of hard work. You got to be committed. You have to work with what you got, and at the same time, have a good personality that goes with other people. Because you're going to see different people at different events. Because they can make both the crap out of you, but you have to be as professional as possible to help that client, because you never want a bad review or a complaint like that.
Right. What's that saying? I think it's like service with a smile or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you are a professional. They have hired you. You're gonna come across so many different types of people, but as long as you're working with them and trying to achieve the end product, so that's all that matters.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes this episode of AV and Event Setup. Thank you, Elliot, for being here. It was lots of fun to have you, and his work on Maximum Productions and everything else he does. All right, guys. See you later.
This concludes another episode of MC Anime Podcast. MC Anime Podcast is available on podcast directories like Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We also have our website at mcanimepodcast.com. If you want to directly support us, then follow Patreon blog MC Anime. Finally, if you want services for hire, then we're available on Fiverr for audio and video production, graphic design, idea consulting, and blog and article writing.